The next lap, you're not. The next lap, you're tied. Every position brings a different mindset, a brain reboot. But you can't worry about what you had, what you lost. Your memory must be short. So break off that rearview mirror. Keep that focus straight ahead.
Yes, the focus right now is on those pace laps as we get ready to go racing here. And for Elliott Sadler, he will restart 38th. And since they reconfigured this track, there's been 2 races. Of course, a year ago, Elliott Sadler looked like he was going to have a great finish until this movie took the shortcut through turn 2. And then Jason Leffler gets into it, and Elliott gets into the wall. He finished 27th. Comes back this spring, though, and sets the tone as he wins, and he would lead the points after 25 races of the 31 we've run this year. Let's talk to him. He's our in-race reporter, DJ.
Hey, Elliott, Dale Jarrett with ESPN. I know this day hasn't started the way that maybe you envisioned, but I also know that you've overcome a lot of adversity throughout your career. Tell us how you're going to use those times where you've been successful to be successful here today.
Well, yeah, I mean, as a race car driver, you always go through ups and downs, and I've had my fair share of, we've gone to backup car a few times. The last time I did it was IRP last year, wrecked in qualifying and almost had a chance to win the race with leading it 2 laps to go. So we're going to look at all the positives. My guys have done a great job getting this car ready. It's a really good car that we've raced a bunch of times this year, and we should be fine today.
Yeah, our mailbag question comes from Dustin in Harrisonburg, Virginia, and he asked, how will your short track wins this season, including Phoenix in the spring, help you get through the field today?
Well, that's a good question, and we have run really good on short tracks this year. And I definitely have a lot of confidence in my team, have a lot of confidence in myself to go in here and going to get this victory today at Phoenix. All because we're starting where we're starting, it's not like we're just going to go try to manage this thing. We're going to go up here and try to get maximum points. I think if we can do that, we can put the pressure on everybody else before we go to Homestead.
All right, Elliott, thanks for talking with us. We'll be back with you later on. Have a great day. Now, Andy's going to talk to your crew chief, Luke Lambert.
All right, thank you.
Hey, Luke Lambert, Andy Petrie in the booth. I just heard Elliott talking about being aggressive, driving up through there, try to get this win. How aggressive are you going to call this race now that this points championship is tied?
Well, Andy, I think we're just going to call it, just like we would if we showed up anywhere and wanted to win a Saturday night race. That's what we came here to do, and that's the way we're going to play the game. Real proud of this One Main Financial crew for everything they did to get the car ready.
Well, look, if you get it done today, you sure earned it, buddy. You have worked hard, and your team deserves a lot of credit for putting out a good car there. Thanks for talking to us, buddy. Good luck.
10-4. Thank you, brother.
And you can see that Elliott's trying to get into position. Let's check our dual path onboards. Obviously have one in the number 2. He's got the Nationwide Insurance onboard camera. The number 3 of Austin Dillon, another Nationwide camera. The number 6 of Ricky Stenhouse with the Ford EcoBoost onboard. Danica Patrick, as always, with GoDaddy.com. Joey Logano with the Toyota onboard. Brad Keselowski in the Dodge onboard camera. Justin Allgaier with the Chevy onboard. And Cole Witt with the Goodyear onboard camera. Cars are already coming through turn number 4, and it is time for the pace car to pull down as the race point man, Joey Logano, will lead them to the green flag. He has taken the inside line as expected, and the Great Clips 200 at Phoenix is green. .54 goes very high, as you were talking about this, DJ. That outside line.
Boys, no free pass out there today. You're in that high line. See, Ricky Stenhouse has got himself down the bottom, but this is a very slick racetrack.
And you see Keselowski chasing his car a little bit. Looks like you just cannot be aggressive in that outside lane, especially early.
Trouble up in turn number 4 as we've got a car around. Caution is out. The 41. That is Noel Dowler. Looks like he was able to keep it off the wall, but again, he was on that high side.
Yeah, and anytime this racetrack has sat for any length of time this weekend, these drivers have had their hands full in trying to get hooked up to it.
See, he was way out of the, Noel's way out of the groove right there, up there where there's really no rubber. But we saw Kyle Busch on that start. He went in there. He wasn't really out of the groove. He was just in that upper side of the groove that's there, and he could not get any grip.
Noel Dowler in his first nationwide start. not the kind he wanted. Let's get another update from pit road. Dave Burns.
Well, Marty, with Brad Keselowski chasing the NASCAR Sprint Cup, you may wonder why he's racing in today's nationwide event. And the answer lies in sponsorship. Discount Tire is headquartered in nearby Scottsdale, Arizona, and Brad made a promise to them. I may have to skip some races in the chase, but I'm going to race Phoenix for you. He's keeping that promise, and he's going to try to win today. The upside is he may gain some information by dogging laps today that he can use tomorrow. That could be a very good thing. Jamie Little?
Well, Dave, so far, so fast for Kyle Busch. He's been the fastest in all 3 practice sessions on the Cup side, and he's on the pole for tomorrow's race. Last night, he won the Truck Series as an owner, and today he started on the front row. Now, they've fallen back 4 positions already, but crew chief Mike Beam, he told me that was somewhat of a surprise because they were a 1/10 of a second off in practice yesterday, but they made adjustments this morning, and they have higher expectations for the outcome of today's race. Marty?
And you mentioned he's going to restart in that 6th position, as he'll be just ahead of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Let's listen in on the radio.
Kind of needs to turn when you get to the corner. No front grip. 0. Going to be a long day.
Well, you heard him say
it's almost too early to make a judgment on the way the car's going to handle the rest of the day. I think that first lap, especially on that outside lane, is not a good indication of what your car's going to do.
Let's go back and take a look. First lap.
Yeah, you can see right here, he's just on the outside, and he's going to go down into the corner, try to get a little bit of speed here, and he's in the groove right there, but there's just no grip. I talked to a number of drivers that told me that if I could remember back to when I was driving, the way things used to be at Loudon, New Hampshire, this right side tire is so hard. For about 4 or 5 laps, you just feel like you're on ice, and that's exactly what Kyle Busch had right there.
We can tell you that Blake Cook has gone down pit road. He's making his way back out onto the track. Elliott Sadler, if you're interested, and I'm sure everybody is, as the championship battle ensues, is going to restart in the 30th position.
Yeah, he made up a few spots there in that opening lap. This is actually a break for him to get early caution and have those spots, maybe get a few more on this next restart.
He'd much rather be down that inside line, but
yeah, you got what you got
right now. That's right.
Joey Logano again has selected driver's left. Pace car has pulled off. Right alongside is Austin Dillon and Brian Vickers in that number $20 General car. We're green.
You'll see Austin Dillon there in second. With everything going on here, we can't count him out of this championship yet. If he makes up 10 points or something today, he can be right in the middle of things as we get to Homestead next Saturday.
You saw Kyle Busch take the shortcut through 2. It looked like it helped him pick up the spot on board with Ricky Stenhouse.
Sam doing a good job working that outside lane.
Tucks in behind Kyle. Stenhouse right behind Sam. Now Sam gets underneath.
See Casey Kane there. He was one of the drivers everybody talked about having a very fast car. Maybe one to beat today.
Stenhouse took the shortcut across turn number 2. As we go up front for the battle for the lead is Austin Dillon putting some pressure on 8-time winner this year, Joey Logano.
Logano's just had a phenomenal season in this, but Austin Dillon realizes this is an opportunity right here. There's Brian Vickers going to look to take that second spot away from him, though. Brian Vickers is somebody we better watch out for today, too.
Yeah, and this is a preview of what we're going to see next year with Brian Vickers in that car. I think this is going to be a car that's going to have to be reckoned with.
Oh, we got a little loose there.
Yeah, he tried to carry that speed down into the corner. There's just not enough grip there right now. This will get better as this race goes on, though.
Manages to hold on to the position, Andy. You know, he finished in the top 10 in his last 11 nationwide starts. That's doggone good.
Yeah, he's a great race car driver, and he's just, like I said, he's had a good season in the Cup Series when he's gotten opportunities, but they haven't been that frequent.
Let's check in on the battle between the 6 and the 12. There you see Ricky Stenhouse Jr. right in front of Sam Hornish.
Yeah, see Ricky driving a little defensively right there. You can see he didn't enter the corner at his normal outside line, kind of arcing it in. He was making sure that Sam Hornish didn't try to get to the inside of him.
Let's get an update on that 6 car. How about it, Doc?
And DJ, you're right. He is playing defense, but also he said, I've got a very loose race car. Talking about Ricky Stenhouse in the 6 there, left side of your screen. Very, very loose, what he said on the radio. Mike Kelly said, hang on, buddy. You just got to hang on. We'll fix it when we get a chance. Right now, don't be aggressive. Just hang on.
How many times have we heard that?
We've heard that a lot this year from this team. And I think it's something to do with the way Ricky likes the car. He doesn't want the car to be tight and pushy. And I think that they do hedge their bet a little bit to the loose side, and it's bit them a few times lately.
Yeah, and it could here today. I'm telling you, with these tires the way that they are, a little bit hard on the right, trying to get them up to temperature, and a loose race car, you're kind of on pins and needles right there, especially when you're getting pressure from behind.
Well, I love it. Yesterday I was talking with Ricky. I said, how you going to drive? He says, I'm going to attack every corner, 300%.
I don't expect anything less.
Let's check in on Elliott Sadler while all this is going on, give you an update. Those two have sort of settled down. He has now managed to move up to the 24th position, guys. And one of the things that we have to talk about is there you see him coming into view. They're only going to have maybe 2 or 3 pit stops in this race.
Yeah, that's one of the negatives to this. This is a short race. You don't have many times to work on the car. And with them having to start in the rear with a backup car, you got to think they're going to need to adjust on it a few times during this race. The car looks decent right now, Vince, but I'm sure they're going to have to work on it later.
Yeah, no complaints from Elliott at this point. Really, the most important thing that they've been reminding Elliott about is just to show a little bit of patience as he's working his way through these back markers and to not get caught in a bad position racing with people he's not used to racing with. So more than anything else, just pick your way up until the guys you know about racing with and then go get them. So far, so good for the two-car Elliott Sadler.
Is there a chance he can use the car up?
I don't think that Elliott's going to do that. That's not his style. I think right now, if he drives himself up into the top 15, they'll be in a great position to adjust on this car, get a good finish out of this.
He's 22nd now. Won't be long.
Well, guess who's leading out front? Joey Logano. He's won 8 times. 6 of those wins have come on tracks he never won on before. Guess what? He hasn't won here at Phoenix either. Stay with it. Welcome back to the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Great Clips 200 here at Phoenix. And fans, remember to check out Race Buddy. Enhanced coverage for select nationwide events. More cameras than ever. All you got to do, log on to NASCARNationwideSeries.com/RaceBuddy. Our race leader is Joey Logano. He's got a 1.4 second lead over Brian Vickers. Austin Dillon is running 3rd. Casey Kane is 4th. Kyle Busch is 5th. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is 6th. Here is the battle for 3rd. Casey Kane underneath the 3.
Yeah, he tried him on the outside last lap, going right through this section. Kind of held his own through 3 and 4, but he couldn't make the pass.
And so he set him up down in turns 1 and 2 again. A great veteran move that Casey Kane put on right there because he faked that high side again and then drove underneath Austin to take that 3rd spot away.
Let's get more on that number 3 car. How about it, Dave?
So far, no major complaints from Austin Dillon, but his crew chief, Denny Stockman, told me this morning, you know that truck race last night where one of the championship contenders crashed? We learned that you don't give up on this championship. We're 100% in it, and we feel like if something happens today, we could be right back with him. Well, it's happening all around him. Stenhouse car not great. The 2 coming from the rear. Don't count Austin Dillon out. You guys already said it. He's going to try to stay up front here and see if he can battle for this win.
We'll keep those points on the top of the screen there for you. And going back to that truck race won by Brian Scott last night, with 3 laps to go, it looked like James Busch was going to have a 23-point lead. Now the top 3 are separated by 12.
That's why you don't go away from these things until they're over, because anything can happen. And they know that. Anytime that you're within a race of points like they are, you feel like you're still in it. I understand the thinking here, and they're just going to race as hard as they can and see what happens.
Getting into a lot of traffic there. Oh. 73 that they're going around, that is Derek Cope.
He can't get in the side of that 73 car just a little bit there. You really need all of that room on the exit of turn 2 because you get back to the throttle so quickly down in the middle of that corner, carrying a lot of speed.
With a kind of a single groove racetrack like we have right now, it can get frustrating when you come up on these lap cars and they don't give you that lane when you need it.
That was Dexter Stacy in the 39 that they both went around. Battle has sort of settled down for the moment. In fact, Casey's opened up about a 2-car length advantage. Let's check back a little deeper. The battle for 12th, the 88 of Cole Witt, the 11 of Brian Scott, who we just mentioned, won last night's truck race, his 2nd career truck win. And Andy, I saw where Dale Jr. was saying they're still trying to find sponsorship so that they can keep Cole Witt in that 88 for next year.
Yeah, it'd be great to see that, because I think Cole's made a lot of headway. And now that they've made some changes in the team, it looks like the cars are performing a little bit better. I talked to Ryan Pemberton this morning down in the garage area, and he's talking about how it's just changing things. It's taking a little bit of time to get this thing on track, but you can see measured improvement. And I think if they could keep him in this car another year, you'd see it.
3 of his last 5 races in the top 6.
You know, that's just all these young drivers need is seat time in good equipment. And as they continue to grow as a driver, you need to be able to advance as a team too. And I think that Junior Motorsport has done that with their program throughout this year. It would be great to see this young man be able to get another opportunity, another full season there. Doc, he's doing a good job here today.
He really is, DJ. You know, they talk about how shy the young man is, but he's got an incredible work ethic. He's talented. He's all about the details, which is one of Andy Peter's favorite sayings. This young man loves the details. And right now, the last 5 or 6 races, you saw the average a moment ago, a 9th place finish. He's understanding about the rhythm of being a nationwide series racer. And for next year, they told him, if we can find sponsorship, you would probably share this 88 car with Dale Earnhardt Jr. here in the nationwide series.
Yeah, you talk about details, Doc. The details is what it all comes down to. The big stuff kind of takes care of itself.
3 wide there as the 54 of Kyle Busch, the 6 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. go around the 01 of Mike Wallace, and here comes the 22 of Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, Brad had been fighting his car. I watched him here quite a bit, and he was just kind of letting this thing come to him. He had fallen back quite a ways from these 2 cars that he's battling right now, but it seems like he's got it going in the right direction and feeling a lot better about what he has.
Keselowski, of course, in case you weren't with us for Countdown in this ride, because this is the home headquarters in Scottsdale, nearby to Phoenix, for Discount Tire. And he said quite bluntly, he said, hey, they let me out of the ride twice to focus on the championship. I owe it to him to be in this car today, and that's why he's in this race. Big log jam going into 3. You can see that group right at the top of your screen now on the right-hand side. Whoa, it's getting awfully dicey. One car's awfully slow, and the 54 hits the 24. But it looks like under our second caution here at Phoenix International Raceway as a result of the number 44 John Blankenship getting turned around. And it's like the guys in Countdown were saying, you want to be on that nice black part, you don't want to be in the gray, and you sure as heck don't want to be in the blue. Vince, we got pit stops. The leader's coming down.
The first one it's going to hit is Elliott Sadler, upper left-hand portion of your screen. The main issue for Elliott, it's free on entry, loose on exit. Left side tires only. Doc?
Brian Vickers, left side tires only, a little bit tight in the middle, and Ricky Stenhouse, right side tires. Say the car's loose in, tight in the middle, and tight off. Dave?
Joey Logano gives up the lead for 4 tires, and he will get a slight air pressure adjustment. Car was a little bit loose, and then got a little bit tight at the end of the run.
Well, you can see most of the people up front took the 2-tire stop, and Keselowski, the big gainer, picks up 4. Brian Vickers loses 3, and we'll have to sort out where the number 2 of Elliott Sadler stacks up when we get back. Now, here's the reason for the caution.
Yeah, you can see down in turn 1, John Blankenship gets a little bit up in that gray, spins it around, doesn't hit anything though.
Stay with us. We'll reset it when we come back.
Jack Beckman had a moment in Thursday's funny car qualifying at the final race of the NHRA season. Beckman is 7 points ahead of Ron Capps in the championship fight. Despite the engine explosion, the crew rebuilt the car, and Beckman became the provisional #1 qualifier. In Top Fuel, Antron Brown is still on track to become the first African-American Top Fuel champion, but he is being pushed very hard by Tony Schumacher and Spencer Massey.
Under our second caution here at the NASCAR Nationwide Series at Phoenix International Raceway, NASCAR Sprint Cup Series action right here tomorrow at 2 Eastern on ESPN. And boys, NHRA Final, 7 Eastern tomorrow on ESPN2. Antron Brown can make history. First African-American to win any of the top championship titles. You don't want to miss it. And our next stop, the final stop, the Ford 300 at Homestead, Miami, 4 o'clock Eastern, next Saturday, ESPN2. All right, let's go back and show you. We talk about everybody having to be perfect. Didn't happen for Elliott Sadler.
No, they're going to get left side tires here. Maybe try to steal a little track position. But you can look right here. They had some problems on that left rear bit.
That's exactly right, Andy. And so far it's been a tough day for Elliott Sadler. They had to switch to the backup car, start at the rear of the field, and then the very first pit stop, they did have issues on that left rear. Slowed them down quite a bit. Doc?
And typically when you take tires here, 2 tires, you want to do lefts at Phoenix, but they had to do right sides on that 6 car there because Mike Kelly, the crew chief, realized that Ricky Stenhouse's car was free on entry, really tight in the middle and very tight under throttle up off, so they had to put right sides on and take 1 pound of air out of the right front. Marty?
Thanks, Doc. The 70 of Timmy Hill gets the free pass. We're getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Joey Logano has led all 36 laps, and he restarts again on driver's left on the inside. Whoa, one car getting way loose up top there.
Yeah, these restarts are going to be an adventure for all of these teams. Even the drivers that have good race cars, it's going to be difficult.
It was the 08 of Paulie Haraka. Farther back in the field. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on the high side trying to pick up a spot. It's dangerous territory up there.
Especially with a loose race car. See Hornish get outside the groove. You just have to basically slow down. Can't give it any gas.
Well, Justin Allgaier in the 31 looked a little slow also, Andy. Battle for second place. Oh, a little contact.
That was close right there.
And there may be more contact as Austin Dillon had to gather it up, and Ricky Stenhouse almost went into the back of him.
Yeah, Stenhouse in 3-wide situation.
Yeah, he did a good job there, though, not to get into the back of Austin Dillon. Kind of maintain here. He doesn't need to panic. He's got a little bit of track position on his nearest competitor for the championship, so he doesn't want to mess up right now.
Big winner there was the 54, Kyle Busch. He picked up 2 spots.
Now, he's a big loser the last time they got in a big gaggle.
Yeah, that's true. These three still running pretty much nose to tail. Everybody chasing Joey Logano right now. He's led every single lap, all 40 that we've run of the 200 schedule.
I'm really going to be interested to see how these right sides work on the 6-car Stenhouse, because most teams did take lefts, and the reason they do that left side tire is really soft, and he's seen a lot of graining issues with those left sides in practice.
DJ, we just saw the 54, Kyle Busch, used the shortcut to his advantage.
Yeah, he sure did. Made it all work and was able to gather it and keep everything going in the right direction as he went down into 3. You have to kind of be careful there. You don't want to slow down too much. We saw Elliott Sadler get run into from behind just last year in this very race.
So move Kyle into 4th, Brian Vickers 5th. There is Ricky Stenhouse in 6th position and Austin Dillon.
I think the tail on this 6-car, and you were wondering about the right side tires, that could come a little later on as we see what happens with that left front. If he gets into a situation where his car is not turning very well, it's probably that will be the reason, and they'll probably get 4 the next time anyway.
All right, this is settled down, gives us a chance. Let's take you back to the replay with the 3 and the 22 in this contact.
Yeah, Austin Dillon had a great run trying to take that 2nd spot away, but you can see that's always a dangerous spot down into 3. You try to get a little bit extra, makes it tough. Right along right here. He thinks he's in good shape, and then he just can't turn the wheel. Boy, did a great job.
Inside.
Not to crash him and Brad Keselowski.
Nice recovery as they're now going around the 08. That is Paulie Haraka.
I think it's amazing what Austin Dillon's done this year as a rookie and all the laps he's completed and how competitive he's been while he's doing that. You see right there, he's doing it with great skill.
See that the 3 of Austin Dillon has fallen back to that 7th spot after starting this race 3rd.
I think you see it, don't you?
Yeah, he was pushing his button.
Yeah, 10-4. Just hang on to it, bud.
He didn't even have to tell him. I think you can see what it is. He's extremely loose right now. They're going to have to make an adjustment on that next stop.
A little deeper, this is the battle for 14th. You got the 88 of Cole Witt and the 30 of Jason Leffler. And Witt was the first that took 4 tires on that run right there.
Whoa! That was not a problem. Very similar to what we saw with Austin Dillon and Keselowski.
There goes Mike Bliss underneath the 88, taking advantage of the situation.
All this happened right in front of Elliott Sadler, who's trying to carefully work his way up through this, but he does not want to see these other drivers spinning or getting sideways right in front of him.
Elliott has fought his way back to 18th.
The best thing he can do right now is put him in his rearview mirror. That's what he's working on.
Vince, what's the latest on that 2-car?
Well, I tell you what, it is just going from bad to worse for Elliott Sadler. He says the adjustment, which was a track bar down and 2 left side tires, has made it worse. The car has less grip than it had in the first run. And crew chief Luke Lambert says we'll take a bigger swing at it next time. But right now, Elliott Sadler doesn't have much to work with, certainly not to his liking.
He's 10.7 seconds behind, guys. He's running in 17th.
Yeah, I'm watching his car. It doesn't look as bad as we see some of the other ones. I mean, even his teammate, Austin Dillon, looks like he's turning right quite a bit at this stage. His car looked pretty stable to me.
Yeah, just from the report that they gave the first time that Vince did, that he was feeling it over on the right rear. When you go down with that track bar, that's going to give you some bite, maybe from the center out, but it's going to pull that right rear down more. They need, when they change right side tires, maybe to put a rubber in that right rear, give Elliott a better feeling for his car.
Look at this battle. Austin Dillon knows what he must do here. He has to get ahead of that 6 car, Ricky Stenhouse.
Two tires only exaggerated the feeling I have. Looser in, tighter off.
Yeah, that's always a problem, hard to fix. When you got a car that's loose into the corner and tied off, it's a dynamic thing that's really hard to adjust for. It's not a simple adjustment.
Well, they took air out of the right front, which is going to make you a little bit looser on your entry. And then that left front that all the others have left side tires, he's not getting the grip from that. So that's just going to make the car push more on exit because you're not getting the help of that turning your race car.
Biggest thing he has to remember right now is second and third, and the points are behind him. Albeit just one spot with Austin Dillon right there.
May seem bad, but then for the big picture, everything's okay. Right?
That's right. That's right.
He's complaining about taking the 2 tires, but everybody did. They just took right side. It was a little different than what some of the other teams did. He was forced into doing that. If he'd have taken 4 tires, he'd have a whole lot worse situation on his hands. He'd fight a lot of traffic.
Saw slower traffic on the apron there, heading for pit road. That was Derek White in the 24. He was the one that gave Kyle Busch a bit of a fright several laps ago, just as we went to commercial break. This has sort of calmed down, and guess what? We haven't had much to say about Joey Logano because he is just flying. Logano has 6 career wins from the pole. Guess where he started today? Yeah, on pole, and he may be getting number 9. Boy, what an eventful day we have had here at Phoenix International Raceway. Elliott Sadler and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. This was qualifying 2.5 hours before the race. A backup car was needed for the 2. They would be officially sent to the 38th position. But Elliott Sadler has fought his way back. Ricky has also had his moments with a loose race car. But right now, Stenhouse Jr. is running 6th. Elliott Sadler has fought his way back to 16th. As we have knocked down 57 of the 200 scheduled laps here at Phoenix International Raceway. Let's go up to speed with Nationwide Insurance and Dave Burns. It's your turn.
Marty, by winning 8 races this year in the Nationwide Series, Joey Logano joins an elite group. Only 5 others have done that in series history. The other cool stat for Joey is if he wins this race and next week at Homestead, he'll win 10 out of 22. That's a 45% winning average. That'd be even better than his teammate Kyle did in 2010. Jamie?
And behind him is Casey Kane, who started this race 7th, has immediately moved forward. Now this is a brand new setup that this team tried. It's going to be their short track baseline for all the Turner cars next year. And so far today, he's been good. Just saying he's a little bit loose in, Dave.
Brad Keselowski, same report, and that was also the report on the first run, loose. Crew chiefs told me this morning that when you put on lefts, you increase the looseness in your race car, so they're going to have to adjust against that the next time they stop, Doc.
Former champion Brian Vickers back in the Nationwide Series in the 20 car for the first time in a year. He'll run full-time for Joe Gibbs next year. Says the pit stop and the air pressure change really hurt him on the restart, but he has excellent drive off. The car really coming to him. He's trying to make a move now on the inside of the 73. Now behind him, the 6 car. Current points leader, the small picture for the 6 car. Ricky Stenhouse, the car, you heard him on the radio. The changes did not help him, made him looser in and tighter off. He's got his hands full. The big picture, he's right now got a 9-point lead on Elliott Sadler. Jamie.
Well, it's been a great weekend for Kyle Busch so far. Started on the front row here in the Nationwide Series, but immediately fell back as he had no front grip. Not the race car they wanted to bring here. That one was wrecked in practice at Kansas. And right now he's screaming that he has a chattering in his wheel. We need to check that on the next stop, Marty.
So it gives you an idea where those are running. We have a total of 10 cars out of the race. We've had 2 cautions for 7 laps. As you can see, some of the slower traffic getting passed as this battle continues between Stenhouse and the 54. Now that's a battle for 10th between Sam Hornish Jr. who has just taken that spot away from Danica Patrick.
Yeah, he tried for a number of laps to go to the inside of Danica and make that work, but she was able to hold him off. Decided to try the outside and makes the pass get into the top 10. Danica having a really good, solid run so far today.
Restarted 12th. She actually started the race 14th.
I was talking to Ryan Pemberton a little bit about that this morning, about just about the progress they've made, and he said that the restarts are one of the things they really need to work on. They're losing track position there, but they're able to gain it back usually if they can run a long run.
Well, it looks like lap traffic has tightened up the battle for the race lead as the 18 of Joey Logano has a mirror full of the 38 of Casey Kane.
Yeah, a number of people were talking to me about this 38 car, Casey Kane, being really good in longer runs in practice yesterday. They said that the more laps that they put on the tires, this seemed to be the car that fell off the least amount.
Getting to see the 24. Derek White's getting a lot of camera time today. It's unfortunately been when he's getting lapped. And there goes Joey and Casey.
Casey Kane won the Cup race here last fall. Really fun to watch him race around here. He'll run a couple of laps in one direction, go a little bit higher into the corner, turn the car down in the center. Then you'll see him go on the inside, really hug the white or yellow line on the bottom. Just fun to watch him attack this racetrack, and does it very, very well.
Coming up on more lap traffic. That's the 01 of Mike Wallace right in front of him. While all this continues, let us update you. 64 laps. It's taken Elliott Sadler. He's in the top 15 for the first time. And look out, here we go. Could be a change for the lead.
Yeah, you can see Logano got really loose on entry to 1 as he was on the inside of Mike Wallace there. Casey Kane trying to take advantage.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Both those cars went completely off the racetrack in the dogleg. Great battle.
Still hanging on the high side. And Joey Logano still the race leader. Here comes Casey again.
And they're starting to get some rubber down in that second groove, and you can see Logano able to hold Casey Kane off by having that opportunity to run up there with that track being cleaned off and the rubber being put down.
And we saw how treacherous that was, Andy, right at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, it's starting to, like Dale said, the track's starting to get there. It'll just get wider and wider as this race goes, and tomorrow we'll also see it get a little wider yet.
And there's the 22 of Brad Keselowski sneaking into the picture as well. So the top 3 right there on your screen.
Well, Brad's another. Looks like he has a really good car in the longer run. The last time we had the first time we had a longer run here, his car really came on. He was able to make up about 6 or 8 spots. Doesn't have far to go to the lead right now.
Oh, look out. The 44 Blankenship going around. Caution is out.
Yeah, you can see that coming, though. He cut right across the front.
Yeah, he sure did. Didn't give him any room at all.
So the second time today that Blankenship has turned it around, and both times he has been able to keep it off the wall. He was running 26th, 1 lap down.
Yeah, you can't drive aggressive like that in front of the leaders. And when you're getting past, a couple of these already passed him.
Yeah, and he let the other 2 go to his inside, and then he cut back down the racetrack in front of Brad as he'd already got back into the throttle. Right here, you have to yield. Your spotter has to be telling you, and you have to be aware that there's more of the faster cars coming at you.
Just like I said earlier, it is frustrating when you got a relatively narrow groove and you're trying to pass these slower cars.
Yeah, we can't blame him for wanting to be down there. The last time we said he spun out because he was up in the gray, so now he's trying to get on the bottom, and he gets run into. So nowhere to hide around here.
Yeah, this is only his 3rd nationwide race this year. Ran 26 last week. Brad was actually out of the throttle.
I think Brad just expected to get that lane, and he didn't get it.
So our 4th caution, I should say now, here at the Phoenix International Raceway. You know, we saw that shot on Brad Keselowski. Let's get a moment. Looks like they're talking about 4 tires for a pit stop with Luke Lambert. We were watching final practice for tomorrow's Cup race. Should be a dandy. Brad Keselowski was past Jimmy Johnson a couple times, didn't he?
Yeah, it was fun watching that practice. Those 2 guys going at it.
Yeah, really worked hard. They both seemed to improve their cars the more that the practice went on. I'll tell you what, there's a number of drivers that aren't involved in the chase that had fast race cars in practice. Should be a very interesting and great race tomorrow afternoon.
You're going to see it on ESPN, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, let's find out how many takers we're going to have. Well, it looks like all of the leaders are coming down pit road, led by Joey Logano.
Looks like Ricky Stenhouse stayed out.
You're right, Andy, he did.
Wow. Yeah, wow.
Do you agree with that decision?
No.
We'll find out if that pays any dividends. Vince?
Elliott Sadler says he needs help getting back to the throttle. It'll be right sides only this time with a chassis adjustment for the two of Elliott Sadler. Jamie?
And Casey Kane said he was getting loose right sides to tighten him up, and they put Sunoco fuel in. Dave?
And Keselowski took on 2 left side tires the first time. This time he'll take on 4 track bar adjustment, tighten the center loose, in and off for Keselowski. The 18 of Logano will pit as well. Loose in, tight center off. He'll get a chassis adjustment.
And the race off pit road, Joey Logano maintains. Michael Annett, Brendan Gaughan each pick up 4 spots. Alex Bowman picks up 8. Brian Vickers drops 6. Now, several cars did stay out, including Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Stay with us.
Back at Phoenix under caution, getting set for the restart here. Ricky Stenhouse stayed on the racetrack. Mike Kelly, what were you thinking keeping your driver on the track?
We were trying to get some track position. We're in a fuel window here, and I just don't want to get buried back in the back right now. We'll see how it works out for us.
All right, Marty, they can make it on one more stop around lap 115.
Wouldn't everybody from this point on be able to make it in one stop?
Yeah, I don't understand that exactly. I'm not sure I agree with this strategy.
And I think they'll have to get 4 tires when they come. The rest of them could possibly get 2. So interesting. We'll see what happens.
You see how that matches up. Stenhouse leads a lap, gets the bonus point. Logano right alongside. Kane and Annett in row 2. Then Brendan Gaughan, Austin Dillon, Brad Keselowski, and Elliott Sadler restarts 8th. He's back in the top 10. Logano with the 2 fresh tires, trying to get it on the outside. Look at everybody taking the shortcut.
Elliott Sadler 3 wide there, trying to go around Brendan Gaughan.
Stenhouse still trying to hang on. There's Vickers right in the 20, right behind the 33 of Gaughan. Little contact, a little contact more. And Joey Logano back into the lead.
Wow, look at this mess.
Trying 3 wide, a little deeper back in the field. Casey Kane looks like he may be able to get around, but here comes the 6 right back on him, trying to fight for second.
Yeah, it's just all you can do right now in trying to find some grip, get to the throttle as hard as you can, slide these cars around, and hopefully your tires will come in very soon.
Stenhouse holding on to second. Here comes the battle for third as Austin Dillon tries to get under Casey Kane. Kane slips a little.
Boy,
Slips a lot.
Those two have been going at it.
He's going to lose 2 more spots. That's Michael Annett, and Annett gets passed in the meantime by the 22 of Keselowski.
Yeah, who took 4 tires the last stop, too. So look for him to be making his way to the front.
He was the first car to take 4 tires, and look who's in the picture. The number 2 of Elliott Sadler, right behind Casey Kane.
Casey Kane is like his car, just the tires won't hook up right at the beginning of a run, where on the other hand, Joey Logano looks like if this comes down to a short run, he has the car to beat because his car just flies at the beginning.
Battle for the race lead. Here comes Ricky Stenhouse, and I have to admit, guys, I'm a little bit surprised.
Yeah, I'm impressed with how this car is performing. After these tires cooled off, looks like they've come back really strong. I can't believe really how good it is. But he's still on a different fuel strategy than the other cars around him. He's got 30-some laps more than they do.
Well, something I saw in Cup practice was that these guys could come back out on tires that they had laps on. They could make some fast laps for about 10 or 12 laps. Then the time started to fall off. So we'll see what happens with Ricky's car here versus these tires on the 18.
Well, right now, this decision is making Mike Kelly look like hero, not zero.
Casey, quite a few different strategies here. You got 2 tires on the 18, no tires on the 6. You got 4 on the 22 who's coming behind them.
Danica Patrick going under Brian Scott. Here comes Justin Allgaier, and Cole Witt has fallen back a little. He got a little too high, loses several positions.
It's just like when you get a little bit too aggressive, just that slight little bit. just gets you in trouble. You don't even have to get out of the groove. It's just that you slide, you can't get back to the gas. You have 2 or 3 going by you.
Battle for 8th. And boy, Michael Annette's had a handful since the restart. He's trying to hold off the 12 of Sam Hornish and the 20 of Brian Vickers.
If Sam Hornish is getting his car any better, he struggled on that last run a little bit. It's like it's still not exactly there. Maybe a little bit too loose to make a run up off the floor.
Keeping track of the points, all you have to do is look at the top of your screen. The margin right now would be 5. Elliott Sadler keeps cutting into that margin, getting ever closer to the front.
Yeah, and I'm sure that Elliott, being the competitor and this race team as good as they are, they'd like to turn that deficit right now into a positive, but they would take a 5-point deficit with the way this day started and go to Homestead and try to outrun that 6 car.
Well, I'll tell you, if Sam Hornish Jr. holds on to the spot, Vickers gave it everything he had on that last corner. Jamie, what are you hearing on that 12 car?
Well, they wanted to free it up on that last stop, so they took 4 tires and just made an air pressure adjustment. Remember, this 12 car went to victory lane here 1 year ago, and I asked Sam about this car, and he said it wasn't quite as good. He wasn't as sure of what they had as a year ago. They said we're not bad, but of course, right now, too loose is the call, Marty.
Well, and Sam has finished second 3 times since last year's victory right here at Phoenix. Difference in lines, we saw it right there from that shot. Side-by-side action now with Brian Vickers trying to get underneath the 31 of Justin Allgaier. That is for 14th on the racetrack.
Well, Brian Scott earlier today on a big high from that victory last night.
Still no word on where he is going to be racing next year.
See what this racetrack's given us now, an opportunity for drivers to run side by side for that second groove, even though it's still treacherous up there, especially on these restarts. But once you get the air pressures built up and that groove cleaned off a little bit, you can really go.
How about the battle for third? The 3 car of Austin Dillon has it. Brad Keselowski would like to take it away. And here comes the 38 back into the picture as well.
Yeah, I think this 22 and 38, they need some laps on their tires to get their cars handling the way that they really like, and then they start moving forward.
So we are getting closer to the halfway mark as the 22 takes a peek underneath. And here he goes for the shortcut. Will it pay? Yes, it does. Brad Keselowski makes it work. He takes the spot, and here comes the 38 of Casey Kane trying to follow. Casey makes the pass stick. Meanwhile, the race leader, Joey Logano, still has mirrors full of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who stayed out. It has paid dividends so far in this run here at Phoenix. Our 5th caution, Paulie Haraka spun, and 2nd place, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., also the 3 of Austin Dillon, among others that have come down pit road. Let's check in with Dr. Jerry Punch.
A break for Stenhouse, Marty, because they were getting the pit in about 20 laps. He said the car basically has no right side grip. It is still free in, tied off. They're going to do 4 tires and drop the track bar 1 round. Dave.
Austin Dillon's team is going to go up on the track bar 2 rounds. He was very unhappy with his 5th place running car. They'll get it full of Sunoco fuel. He'll put on 4 tires as well.
Also making stops, the 30 of Jason Leffler. He is back out. And the 81 of Jason Bowles. All right, let's go back and show you the reason for this 5th caution. Keep an eye on the 08, Paulie Haraka.
Yeah, it's in the middle of a pack there. Tried to get back in the gas a little too hard. Spins it around, but locks it down. Doesn't hit anything.
The 19 of Mike Bliss gets the free pass. Welcome back to the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Great Clips 200 at Phoenix. And boy, the strategy is unfolding now after the pit stop by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. You can see now back in 16th. And Andy, 11 points the way they're running, and it doesn't look like that decision really paid dividends.
Yeah, I'm not sure I understand this whole decision and how they came about it. It looked like if they were within a pit window of fuel that they would have stayed out here this time, but they came in and gave up that track position. They'll be fighting a lot of traffic here.
So it is Joey Logano, the race leader, and he took the high side this time, going back to what you said about the second group coming in.
Yeah, how things have changed. They didn't want any part of that high side at the start of this. Neither does Elliott Sadler right now, though. Wow, losing spots in a hurry.
Oh, man, is he losing a ton of spots. Gets up in the gray and then has contact as he gets nudged from the 31. And Sadler is right there with the 6.
And his lead's gone. That you just showed that you talked about having an 11-point lead. They're back to tied now, and he's back behind because Stenhouse has led a lap.
And there is the 3 of Austin Dillon in front of both of them. The 6 has 4 fresh tires. The only thing we were talking about during the break with that strategy on the 6 is he now has laps in hand, and if it stays green, he can go longer than the others, but all of a sudden, it's looking good again.
Yeah. It's a good championship-wise, but he still has a lot of cars to pass to get back to the front.
This has been a crazy race. The way the ebb and flow has taken place, and we're not even halfway. We're 3 laps from the halfway mark. It's Danica Patrick in 11th. She's trying to hold on to the spot. Stenhouse on the high side. Ricky finally clears. Now he's going after the 43 of Michael Annett.
Well, I really like the way his car works up on that top side. You see him get a big run off the 4. Right by Michael Annett.
And the 43 took fuel only, and I don't think that's paid much dividends. Just saw him getting passed.
Like the adjustments they made on Ricky Stenhouse car is working well for him right now, though. Really taking off nicely on this restart.
You can see Elliott Sadler farther back. He's got his hands full with Cole Witt and the 33 of Brendan Gaughan.
Yeah, that restart just was a disaster for Elliott. I mean, he was in a good position just to kind of sit and ride for a while. Was able to do that the last time, but once he got up there and started losing spots, he hasn't been able to stop it.
He went from 3rd to 15th on that restart. Go back and take a look at the restart.
He's on the outside. He was actually 4th on the restart. He tried to go in there with Casey Kane, it looked like, and it just wasn't. It wouldn't stick. And he almost got in some more trouble right there.
And he looked like a spectator in a fast-moving parade.
Yeah, now he's back in a situation where all of these cars pitted. The last time most of them got tires, and he doesn't have that. His car is not driving very well. Just going to try to make the most of this, Vince.
Yeah, DJ, once he gets going, he's fine, but on the restarts, he says the car is just unbelievably loose, and you heard it in his voice just a moment ago when he was almost pleading with Luke Lambert, you've got to find a way to tighten me up on these restarts, and boy, I tell you what, that was a costly one there, as you guys noted.
On the left side of your screen, the battle for second, Brad Keselowski in front of Casey Kane. On the right side, you saw Austin Dillon holding off Danica Patrick, and that was for 12th. Everybody chasing that man right there in the 18, Joey Logano.
I'm looking at this 12 car in the picture there, too. Sam Hornish, whose car the first couple of runs wasn't that good. Looks like they've made some nice adjustments on him, though.
Yeah, you can just see that car slowly working its way to the front.
DJ, you're right. We're seeing a lot more variety in the lines. How many guys in the Cup race are watching this right now?
Yeah, they're glad to see that. They know as their race starts tomorrow, though, that it'll be extremely slick until they're able to do just like these nationwide drivers have done here and get some rubber down, get that second groove cleaned off. See Stenhouse trying to pick up another spot here.
Underneath Justin Allgaier, the 11 of Brian Scott right behind. Looks like Ricky will clear this corner. So move Stenhouse into the 8th position.
We talk about Stenhouse and his aggressive nature, how that can work for him and against him at different times. But you know, this young man really does a good job. I mean, he drives this race car for everything it's worth, but he's also been smart in traffic, taking it where it'll give it to him, and then once he's able to get some clear racetrack, he gets everything out of this car it has.
Stenhouse has opened up some breathing room over Justin Allgaier. He's trying to track down Alex Bowman, who's running in 7th, and there you see Alex in the 99. All right, after a dramatic comeback victory, the undefeated Irish look to continue their quest for perfection.
Welcome back to Phoenix International Raceway. Make sure to go to NASCAR.com for all of your latest NASCAR information. We are 91 laps to go here in the race with Joey Logano out front, but we're keeping an eye on our 2 championship leaders. The day started for Elliott Sadler. A crash in qualifying, had to go to the backup car and started 38th, Rusty.
Yeah, he had nothing go wrong with the car except he just got in the corner too deep and lost it and just got that thing in the wall, and that was a huge hole to try to come out of. We're starting in the back and going to the front now.
Opportunity, though, when Ricky Stenhouse Jr. decided to not pit, and then on a restart with Sadler out front, he made a mistake on
yeah, we thought that Ricky Stenhouse Jr. should have pitted, but he didn't. Sadler out front has a great opportunity. He can't get going on the restart. Lo and behold, Ricky Stenhouse passes him, and Elliott can't take advantage of the position.
And he's not exactly happy with his car on those restarts.
Luke, you have got to figure out a way. To tighten me up on restarts. Got to be air pressure because all 3 of us suck on restarts. It just will not get going. I'm tired of chatter in the right rear.
But Elliott Sadler is not the only driver to struggle on the outside today.
No, it's been slick. It's been slick on the restarts. And you hear Elliott talking about the 3. He's talking about his teammates over on the Richard Childress side. They might all be using the same pressure. But I'm going to tell you, he is not the only guy that can't get going on restarts. I don't know if they're picking up rubber or what, but that top has been slick. We've seen several cars lose several spots.
Well, Ray, the key thing he said is chatter in the right rear tire. And every time as a driver, I had the right rear tire chatter. You need to drop that track bar, put some pressure on that right rear tire to make that thing quit doing that. The rest of his teammates are having problems, but I don't know if the rest of the teammates are having the right rear chatter problem like Elliott is. That's good feedback, and now Luke just needs to react on it.
We'll see if they can make it better in the following 87 laps. Marty?
Thank you, Nicole. 11 cars out of this race. Only 2 leaders and 2 lead changes as you continue to see the action deeper in the field. We've had a lot of action back there. Justin Allgaier in the 31. 7 of Danica Patrick and the 3 of Austin Dillon. That's 10th, 11th, and 12th. The race leader, it's Joey Logano. You know, guys, he has passed 1,000 laps now led this year in that limited schedule he's run.
It's been amazing what he's been able to do. See a big gaggle of cars here. Sam Hornish, Kyle Busch in the mix there, Brian Vickers.
And 1 lap vehicle right on the high side there as everybody's trying to get around. And they negotiate Derek Cope in the 73 and continue the battle.
Those 3 drivers there kind of giving each other room as they knew that nothing good was going to come if they tried to force the issue in there with the lap cars.
Looks like Kyle Busch's car is a little bit better this run. So he put some pressure on Sam Hornish.
Kyle running in that 5th position. Both closing on the slower John Blankenship, and here goes Kyle taking that low line, and looks like it may pay dividends. Yes, he clears Blankenship.
Nice move. Comes Vickers. He's going to try to take advantage of that spot as he's got Sam Hornish trapped behind the slower car.
So Sam loses 2 spots in 2 corners.
These lap cars have been a handful for the leaders today.
Well, and the shortcut really has paid dividends for some of these guys.
Yeah, you can use it to your advantage. You know, it does, keep you can cut it off. You're taking a little bit of the track away. You just have to make sure as you do it that you keep in mind that you make sure you give yourself enough room from any car that may be coming in behind you as you enter turn 3, because you don't have the proper angle. You have to slow down just a little bit.
That is 1st and 2nd. The 18 of Joey Logano, the 38 of Casey Kane, and again lap traffic as they're coming up on the 70 there of Timmy Hill. Battle for 10th continues. Austin Dillon underneath the 31 of Justin Allgaier.
Yeah, see how this works out this time. Danica tried to make this move on Allgaier and take that 10th spot away. She got a little bit loose. That allowed Austin Dillon to go by her. He's not able to make this pass work yet. Danica trying to learn something and see what she can do. We've got a spin off of 4.
Noel Dowler for the 2nd time, and the caution will come out. So it will be.
Did you hear anything, bud? Oh.
It'll be our 6th caution of the day. right, Luke Lambert's got to make another call.
They're going to do as Rusty Wallace said there, maybe, and take that track bar down some. Try to get Elliott some side bite and some bite up off the corner.
Well, let's go back and show you what happened to the 41.
It's out there, no man's land.
Yeah, the groove's gone higher, but I don't think it's gone that high.
Well, I'm telling you, there's no grip up where he was.
Did a good job of keeping it off the wall. 26 laps of green flag racing, guys. Elliott Sadler gained one of those lost positions back.
Yeah, his pit crew needs to step it up for him right here. This could be their last stop. They're getting inside of a pit window or a fuel window to make it to the end of the race here on this stop. So they need to really come through for him.
2 or 4, what's the call?
Well, I think we've seen 4 tires work pretty good on a lot of cars, and it depends. Now, you got so many cars on different strategies. I don't know which car you're talking about, but if I'm one of the leaders, I believe I want 4 tires here.
Well, we're going to find out as they come down pit road. Led by the 18 of Joey Logano, Casey Kane, Brad Keselowski. Vince, you're up.
The biggest issue for Elliott Sadler, he said that last adjustment hurt the middle and didn't help the entry. Left side tires only, chassis adjustment. Doc.
Stenhouse will take free in, the tightness in the middle, better left side tires only for Stenhouse. Final stop. Jamie.
Jimmy Johnson's pit crew pitting the 38 at Casey Kane. He said he's loose. 4 tires and track bar down, Dave.
Logano waiting on fuel. He took 2 left side tires. He will lose the race off pit road. It looks like his car was getting tight. That's what they wanted fixed.
Brad Keselowski picks up as he is first off pit road. Joey loses 1. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. picks up 3. Kyle Busch drops 1.
Yeah, the only leader that took 4 tires that time was Casey Kane.
Casey Kane, that's right. And there's the race off pit road. Stay with us. We'll reset as we get ready. The drama unfolds here at Phoenix International Raceway. Elliott Sadler's pit stop slower again, and let's take a look at it, Andy.
Well, they're getting left side tires again. They struggled with that before. It looks like the left rear, and it looks like they may have put a little bit of fuel there.
Man, we keep losing. What in the world? Lost about 7 or 8 positions there.
Elliott comes back out in the 12th position. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is 4th. And here we go back to green flag racing. Brad Keselowski, just our 3rd different leader today. And Keselowski takes drivers right on the high side. The 01 of Mike Wallace got the free pass. 23 cars back on the lead lap. But the battle up front is Joey Logano, who has led a total of 118 laps today, trying to get underneath the 22.
Man, now things have changed from the first lap, the start of this race, of that outside lane. See, our leaders are starting to choose that now, and Keselowski's able to hold the lead by taking that.
And there is Elliott Sadler, deep in this field, deeper than he wants to be. He's got Sam Hornish Jr. right in front of him, Andy.
He's got that and Casey Kane in the 38. And as Andy pointed out, Casey Kane, only one of our leaders that took 4 tires. Comes Austin Dillon, making a move on Kyle Busch, taking that spot away.
So, what about that strategy of Casey Kane?
Well, I like it. I was one that said that if I was one of the leaders, I'd want 4 tires. I'd stick by that. I think they're not going to make another pit stop. They're inside their fuel window, and he will have the best tires all the way to the end of the race. So I like this call.
I really think that might be the call that wins this 30. Unless he gets in an accident back here trying to work his way forward, I think that might be the call that wins him the race.
Well, there is some risk to doing that because you know you're going to be having to pass a lot of cars.
And there you see the 38 on the left side of your screen. Brian Scott right behind him, then Danica Patrick in the 7, Sam Hornish Jr., and then Elliott Sadler. And Sadler is still running in that 12th position. Brad Keselowski continues to lead, but Joey Logano and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. are oh so close.
And you got to give credit to Brad Keselowski to get that lead and keep it because he hasn't had the best car. That 18's been better than him most of the day.
Look at Alex Bowman in that 99, guys.
Yeah, Alex has done a nice job. He was running up in the top 10 during that last run. Doing a really good job in this 99 car for the limited amount of experience that he has in these cars and in this series.
Danica Patrick taking a look underneath the 11.
Yeah, that's for the ninth spot. Once again, Danica doing a really, really solid job here today.
So put Danica into 9th, and Sam Hornish Jr. is trying to bump Brian Scott out of the top 10. The battle for 7th, and those 4 tires are starting to show.
Well, he's had a good car all day, too, and he's passing cars that he's been better than even on equal tires. But now that he's got 4 tires, where a lot of cars don't, it looks even better.
Yeah, he got 4 tires in Casey Kane. I like that combination.
Me too.
And you can see he's pulling away from Cole Whitt. Elliott Sadler all over the 12, saying, Sam, go.
Yeah, and I think Sadler just trying to stick his nose in there to where he can make it a little easier to take that spot as Sam Hornish kind of opened the door for him. You can see Brian Vickers going around Ricky Stenhouse on the right. So as Sadler moves forward, gets a point, Stenhouse backwards. That's actually 2 points for Elliott Sadler as he tries to stay in this championship battle.
Yeah, bump Stenhouse back to 4th now.
You see Brian Scott under pressure, a lot of pressure. The winner of the truck race last night. He's having a little problem now holding off these faster cars.
It's Alex Bowman trying to impress again as he's going to go 3 wide. Now he's right in the middle. Allgaier takes the shortcut and makes it work.
Yeah, so far, we'll see how he does as he gets down into 3 because he got extremely loose. Alex Bowman back to the inside of him, takes it back away.
Yeah,
nice move.
The problem with that move is you just don't have that angle that you need to get into turn 3 and be fast.
Yeah, and to do that, you need, if you're going to actually make the corner work, you have to slow down a little bit. When you slow down a little bit, like Elliott Sadler did last year, you take the chance of getting run into from behind.
So Alex Bowman in front of the 31 of Justin Allgaier. And that is 12th and 13th. And here is the battle for the race lead. Keselowski and Joey Logano have sort of pulled away now and trying to make it their own show.
Now, this is a good example of just how much track position's worth, because we saw that 22 car Keselowski could not really make the pass and get this lead, but once he gets there, he's able to stay there.
Well, it's a great learning. I know that Brad would really like to have studied and just thought about his championship battle in the Sprint Cup Series, but this is a great opportunity for him to see exactly what's happening with these tires, with this racetrack, how it's going to change as he goes for the battle tomorrow with Jimmy Johnson in the Sprint Cup Series.
And of course, that race you'll see on ESPN, 2 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow as this continues. You can see the gap right there. Gives you an idea. Back to 3rd place, Brian Vickers and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. You're saying, where's Elliott Sadler? There he goes, right there. Sadler running 11th right now, and we're keeping track of the points on the top of the screen for you.
Yeah, and I think that the way this day has started, we've talked about Elliott crashing and everything. I think they get themselves situated in the top 10 and can come out of here within striking distance. They'll consider that a success and know that they have to go do the job of winning the race next week at Homestead to try to win this championship.
Just in case you tuned in late, Elliott Sadler had to start in the 38th position after having to go to a backup car after qualifying. Pit stops have hurt this team throughout the day, and you can see right there he's currently in that 11th spot. So Elliott Sadler, who has led after 25 of the 31 prior races, has a lot of work still to do, because at the top of your screen, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is running 4th, and they're all chasing Brad Keselowski. Let's check the calendar for you, because at 2 Eastern tomorrow on ESPN, chase race number 9 right here at Phoenix. And boy, the NHRA Finals last race, championships will be handled out 7 Eastern on ESPN2 at the Automobile Club of Southern California Finals. And our next nationwide race, the finale of the Ford 300, Homestead, Miami, 4 Eastern next Saturday on ESPN. Elliott Sadler has had more than an eventful day. It started 2.5 hours before the race in qualifying. When the car got loose going into turns 3 and 4, he spanks the wall, and enough damage to force the team to bring out the backup car. He would restart, or start the race, I should say, in the 38th position. And pit stops have been a major problem today. They have lost times both times they've been in the pits. And then on restarts, one time he dropped all the way back to 15th when the car just would not handle for him. He has had to fight his way back and right now finds himself in the 11th position. He's only been, Vince, in the top 10 for 16 green flag laps today. What's the latest?
Well, they certainly haven't helped themselves either in the seat or on the other side of the wall today. There's no doubt about that. In the backup car, and Elliott just hasn't been able to work with Luke Lambert to get it where they want it. In fact, Elliott just told Luke a moment ago it's too tight in the middle, and he goes back to a change they made with a track bar adjustment a couple of rounds ago, a couple of stops ago. He says since then it just hasn't been good in the middle. But that's what they've got to work with, and he knows it. Doc?
And if we stay green, points leader Ricky Stenhouse has made his final pit stop for the day, but I'm not sure he's happy with the car. Listen in.
We should have put that track bar down. Tough to do putting left sides on. 3 loose all the way around. Entry, center, exit. That's all, bud.
Well, Mike Kelly just now told him on the radio, said, I thought when the tires built up and the fuel burned off, it would get better. Ricky said, no, in fact, it's getting worse. And they've got 50 laps to go, making 53 to go. So now Mike Kelly a little bit concerned about hanging on to his position and his race car on the track. Marty?
Hey, Doc, there's one other thing that's getting worse. That sun going down into turn number 1, it's becoming a factor.
Yeah, late afternoon, you can see right here, we've had a lot of cloud cover, so the sun hasn't been an issue. They're going to find a different racetrack, but makes it very difficult. You literally lose sight of the racetrack and the other competitors as you enter that corner for a little bit.
So how scary is it when you can't find your turning point?
That makes it difficult. I don't think Joe Logano's having any problem, but whoa, trouble.
Look out, trouble in front of him, and no, Keselowski gets through, but Joey Logano is going to retake the lead in the process. What could have been a big mess turns into a one-car spin.
These lap cars have been interesting
Did you hit
today.
the outside wall, did you?
Yeah, we got the gas to her.
Good job, bud. Excellent job.
Timmy Hill in the 70.
Seen a lot of spins, and these drivers keeping it out of the wall. You don't see that much here, but they're doing a great job. See Mike Wallace, see if he gets into the back of him just a little bit right here.
Yeah, it looks like
enough.
Help.
Enough to spin him out.
Just touched the wall just a little. Not enough to really bend the car up. And here's what's going on as far as the pass for the lead.
This will keep Mike Wallace on the lead lap. He was just ready to go a lap down.
On board with Joey Logano.
He's trying to shortcut the back straightaway. Watch him, see how much he has to check up right here as he sees what's happening in front of him. He's in the perfect spot there to dodge that.
Come on, come on, come on. Caution's out, caution's out.
That could have easily been a 4-car pileup. Turns into a 1-car spin and no major serious damage on the 70 of Timmy Hill. He was 25th at the time, 2 laps down. Just in case you're wondering, 23 cars are on the lead lap. With 51 laps to go, you had pointed out earlier, Andy, nobody's really...
Well, they're inside the window to make it on fuel. Elliott Sadler, though, he's been struggling quite a bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see him make a pit stop, though, work on that thing.
He's taking a big chance here with going to be just under 50 laps to go. To come in, I'd have to see some cars in front of me coming before I make that move.
Yeah, because there's 23 on the lead lap. You'd have a lot of ground to make up.
He'll probably drag a few in with him.
Yeah, he's got a car that's made it difficult to pass so far today, though.
As you can see, the first car to turn down is the 3 of Austin Dillon. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. stays out.
Casey Kane came back.
Elliott Sadler is coming down.
Surprised to see Casey Kane come down pit road, though.
Vince?
Well, the big decision for Sadler was who was coming behind him as to whether or not Elliott was going to come. This is going to be a 4-tire change. Still doesn't like it in the middle and says it's too free on entry, but he knows he's got to be better if he's going to challenge for the win, Marty.
You like this idea of 4 tires?
I do. I like this idea of him making his pit stop. He was not going anywhere. He was kind of stuck where he was running in about, what, 12, 13?
Yeah, they had to have 4 tires on it all day with these adjustments. See what it does.
All right, so we'll reset everything for you when we come back. Does the 4-tire strategy pay dividends for the 2-car of Elliott Sadler? Here's the reason that we are under our 7th caution of the day. Just a slight nudge from Mike Wallace spins Timmy Hill. He doesn't hit the wall. We'll restart when we come back. Back here at Phoenix International Raceway. After 152 laps, Brad Keselowski is your leader. Eric McClure is going to get back on the lead lap, giving us 23 cars now. There'll be no waiver rounds this time. And our race leader is Brad Keselowski. And here's the reason why. The 18 radio.
You got him, but we didn't cross the loop. We'll get him. We're a little better than he is at this point anyway. They're supposed to go back to the tape, right? But if they didn't cross the loop, go back to the tape. Yeah, they're not going to give it to us. We'll just pass them the right way. Make for good TV. You got this.
And the loop they're referring to is the scoring loop, and it was at the last loop when the caution came out. That's why Brad's up front. He takes the high side. Here we go. And Joey says,
well, there's one way to take it.
Bang. We're going to just take it right now. Oh, and Brad gets loose. He's going to lose more.
Just cannot be aggressive out there on that outside lane.
That looks just like Elliott Sadler's restart from the last time.
Look, Danica in a 3-4 wide situation.
She gets
Brad's
around.
got a
And,
lot of
Brad's almost to the wall, guys.
I got him flat.
Oh, he's got a flat tire.
Oh, we might have more than that. That was close. Brennan gone.
The 30 car, Jason Leffler, nudged the 33.
See Elliott Sadler right in the middle of all of this happening.
And Sadler doesn't want to stay there for long.
Now he's going to take a shortcut here, I'd say, and see if he can pick up a spot or two.
Remember what happened last year when he did this? Leffler got into the rear, sent him to the wall.
Yeah, it looks like Keselowski's got straightened out a little bit.
And that's Leffler right behind him in the 30. Ouch. He could have had deja vu. And as Yogi Bear would say, all over again. Whoa. Was that the 99 of Alex Bowman? Yes, it was. He spanked the wall, and he's got a tire rub.
He smacked it good. To the right side of that car.
Whoa, and Sam Hornish, the last winner here last year at this race, and he just lost the right rear.
But Kyle Busch right behind him.
I think we'll have to go back, as they say, and check
he just got us in the left rear as we were on the top there. I think it's just tires.
That's so much going on right there. I think
on here.
This was a battle for fourth. Let's go back. Looks like a little damage on that right rear or left rear corner.
See right here, battling close. Inside car gets a little bit loose right in that situation. Kyle Busch just into the left rear corner.
We're in a bad spot, too. One of the fastest parts of the racetrack.
See just the slight contact here. That's all that it takes.
It's a tough break for Sam Hornish, as he was looking to repeat from his victory here last year and was running in the 4th position at the time.
Coming down pit road now, he obviously has to change right sides at least. I'm sure he's going to need all 4. They're going to be close to going a lap down before they can make all of that happen.
Just do 2 here. We need to catch up. Get 2 on it. Get it picked up
Pace car
first.
is coming down the front straightaway. I don't think they're going to make it, guys.
It'll be tough.
They're having a tough time getting the car up. No, they're going to go a lap down.
We're not going to make it. Put 4
Brad
on it.
Keselowski has also come down pit road. Well, it's not the first time that the 12 and the 54 have come together. As Keselowski comes in, he's going to take right side tires.
Yeah, he thought he had a flat. It looked like maybe he had gotten straight back out, but made the pit stop anyway.
Here's some of the history. This is back at Indianapolis this year. Was able to keep it off the wall. And then this was Chicago. And Kyle took some heavy damage in that one. Stay with us. Coming back. SEC and Pac-12 matchups highlight ESPN's primetime college football tonight. At 7, Dan Mullen's Bulldogs face a brutal road contest against Les Miles and the Tigers. They look to keep their BCS Bowl hopes alive. Then at 10:30, national title contender Oregon goes up against the Golden Bears. Mississippi State LSU at 7, Oregon, California, 10:30. That's tonight on ESPN. It's also live on Watch ESPN.
So where Oregon averages 36 points in the first half, there's teams that don't average that for the game.
They score a point a minute the way they go. All right, pace car is getting ready to come down off the track. Joey Logano, as the race leader, has the selection, driver's right or driver's left. He has taken the inside line and gets the start over Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Stenhouse didn't get a very good start right there. See if he's able to make it up down here in 1, getting off of turn 2.
Those cars on the high side sort of tiptoeing a little bit, aren't they, Andy?
Yeah, it looked like Stenhouse car stuck pretty good on that high side.
Notice the 7 car, Danica Patrick. She is in the top 10. Under attack right now from the 43 of Michael Annette. She's holding on to the 6th spot. There you see Elliott Sadler coming through the screen. Let's go. Oh, she gets tail happy. 3 wide. Austin Dillon's got the best look at it, and boy, he goes in deep.
Yeah, but he got a little clip there from the 43. That got him loose getting down into the corner. You see he losing 5, 6, 8 spots.
Danica Patrick also loses some positions. Elliott Sadler picks up a couple of spots.
Yeah, he had lost a couple on the initial restart here. Yeah, he's trying to fight his way back forward. Looks like his car's better. He just needs to get it going.
Shown in 14th right now. You see the points at the top of the screen based on where they are running.
All right, this is one of those moments in the championship. He's got to make up some positions right now. He's got 4 tires. I'm not going to make any more pit stop. And Elliott's got to get it done here. If he wants to win this championship, he's got to pass a lot of cars.
There's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. flashing by in second. Brian Vickers in the Dollar General 20, going under the $11 General of Brian Scott. So Brian passed Brian and Dollar General passed Dollar General. Did you follow that?
I think so.
Okay. Here goes Elliott underneath Danica.
Yeah, these are right here some cars that Elliott Sadler should be able to pass and outrun, gain some of this points back, get it down inside of 10 points before it's time to go on to Homestead.
Trying to get past the 23. He does manage to clear that 23 car of Jamie Dick. Dick is a lap vehicle.
Actually, he's on the lead lap.
Yes, he is. Jamie Dick is on the lead lap. Let me correct that. He was a battle for position.
Yeah, he'd gotten the free pass earlier on today, and he's done a nice job staying on the lead lap. See Alex Bowman there to Elliott trying to make another pass and get another point. We got in the wall right here coming off of turn 4 back about 10 or 12 laps ago. Alex done a solid job.
Alex in just his 4th nationwide race. He finished 17th at Chicago, 25th at Kentucky, and 19th at Dover. So he's got his best run going.
Time to go.
Gonna have to take one less position though, as Elliott Sadler does get around him. So move Sadler into the 11th spot.
Yeah, now that's where Sadler was running whenever he came in on that last pit stop, got 4 tires, made some adjustment. Let's see if he can take advantage of those tires and work his way inside the top 10 now.
His main contender in that championship battle is running second. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is just over a half a second behind race leader Joey Logano. And Logano's had the best car all day, and hands down.
He really has. He didn't have the lead there for a while behind Brad Keselowski, but his car was better, and he was able to work his way by him. And now I'm not seeing anybody that can challenge him yet, although that 6 car is not getting too far
you can't count that guy out. My gosh, we've seen him do some miraculous things at the end of these races. This young man's just a bulldog behind the wheel. He likes to get it done.
Joey Logano has led 132 laps. Can he hold on to the last 33 and pick up victory number 9 of the season? Stay with us to find out.
It's where they hit it hard till the sun goes down.
It has been an eventful day in the desert of Phoenix, Arizona, here at Phoenix International Raceway. We have had spins, we've had contact, we've had cars into the wall, we've had cars off the wall. One thing we haven't had has been a boring race, despite the fact that Joey Logano has led a race-high 138 laps. His win percentage this year has been phenomenal. He has 8 wins in what has been a limited campaign. You can see 8 out of 20, a 40% win ratio, and he's marching towards number 9.
He's been solid all day long, but his mirror's starting to fill up with that 6 car getting a little bit closer.
Let me ask you something. Risk versus reward here. If Ricky can get ahead of him, win this race, that's 3 bonus points. How much are you willing to push it?
Now, if I know Ricky Stenhouse, he's going to push it pretty hard.
Yeah, I was going to say, what we might be willing to push in this young man, I think that might be a difference in opinion. But I think he didn't win a championship last year by not being smart, too. And he knows he's in a very solid position. But if that door opens, we can see him stick his nose in there for sure.
And you can see by the little clock, he is getting ever closer. And now some slower traffic in front of him there. That is Darrell Haar in the 4. And he's going to take the shortcut. And Joey makes it look easy. Stenhouse manages to also get around. If you're wondering where Elliott Sadler is, he is still in 11th position while all this action is going on up front.
Yeah, he's in 11th, but he's starting to catch cars that are running 8th, 9th, and 10th, and so he might have the opportunity to close the gap by a little bit. As you can see, that's Brendan Gaughan that he's right there on the rear bumper of now. That could move him inside the top 10 here.
And that would only be the second time today that he had cracked the top 10.
It's just been a struggle for sure. And, you know, you're going to face adversity and face times like this as a driver. You just try to get the most out of it. You know, every day can't be a win, but I would certainly say if he can make this pass and get himself up into 9th, possibly 8th before this is over, you count victories in different ways.
Move him into the 10th spot. Vince, what are you hearing on the 2?
You know, that's exactly right, DJ. We got a caution. We'll follow up on a moment.
Yeah,
Marty.
Action up in turn 4 area, and it looks like it could be John Blankenship again in that 44.
Had a tough day so far.
This would be the 3rd time that the caution has come out as a result of John. But again, no damage on the race car.
He just spun, but I think there was a lot of traffic coming on that happened to miss him. Down on the inside once again, trying to make a pass. Let's see, not. Keeps it out. You can see the others coming at him here. He's out another caution, closed the field up once again.
It's also good news for Sam Hornish Jr. Remember, he went a lap down as a result of the contact with Kyle Busch. He gets the free pass. It'll put him back on the lead lap. Give us 24 on the lead lap.
Well, we got some guys up in the top 10 having nice runs. Brian Scott, Michael Annett, Cole Witt, Justin Allgaier up inside the top 10 doing a really good job today.
Pit's open, and you see absolutely no takers. So with 21 laps to go next time by, run what you brung. We'll set it up and go green here at Phoenix. Under our 8th caution gives us enough time to remind you that chase race number 9 right here at Phoenix, 2 Eastern tomorrow on ESPN, and the Automobile Club of Southern California NHRA Finals. That's 7 Eastern tomorrow on ESPN2. The champions will be crowned, and we'll crown a champion next Saturday, 4 Eastern from Homestead, Miami. It's the Ford 300 in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Doc, you're with Mike Kelly.
Yeah, a lot of nervous people in this box here, Marty. Edsel Ford behind him, Jack Roush. And these guys sitting up here with you want to see this championship come to Ford, but are you willing to turn him loose and try to win this race?
Well, I know if we win the race, we'll get the most points, so we'll see how it plays out here. Ricky's a smart driver. He knows what's at stake, and he's done a really good job with what I've asked him to do all day. And it's anyone's game right now. We'll see what happens. The car is the best it's been, and he's on top of his game.
And Marty, he just now said the car's as good as it's been all day long, as he said, and that means, I guess, he's going after him to win the race.
How many times have we heard that from Ricky Stenhouse, and these guys deliver late in the race? But he's on the outside, and let's go back and take a look at some of the restarts we've seen.
Yeah, him and Elliott Sadler both lining up on the outside. We've seen that's not been a good situation. Here's Elliott Sadler restarted 4th. Before he could get this thing under control, he lost about 11 spots, back to 15.
And then Brad Keselowski had the same thing happen. He gets up into the gray and slides way back. Pace car has pulled off. We're coming down the front straightaway. Joey Logano, the race leader, has the inside. Stenhouse up high.
Well, he attacked that corner awfully hard, was flirting with that gray area.
Brian Scott's going to try the shortcut. Doesn't help him on that particular effort.
Kyle Busch trying to utilize that inside starting spot to get him a run. He's trying to go all the way to 2nd here.
And remember, Kyle Busch has yet to win a race this year, trying to keep that streak alive, make it 9 years in a row with at least 1 win.
Well, I'm impressed with Stenhouse, the way he's able to run that outside lane, especially in 1 and 2 on these restarts.
See how hard Kyle Busch gets down into turn 3 right here. We've seen others get loose.
It's another valuable point if Kyle gets ahead of Ricky. It'll cut it down to 9. You can see the change right at the top of your screen. Here comes Brian Vickers as well, and Brian Scott is following.
I don't know if Brian Scott's strong enough to get up there, but boy, that was 2 costly points for Ricky Stenhouse.
And it may not be over yet.
Elliott Sadler struggled with his restart, though, and he's falling back outside the top 10 right now.
Yeah, Sadler running in the 12th position. And that's why the gap is at 9. There you see Elliott right behind Brad Keselowski. Keselowski trying to get underneath Cole Witt in the 88.
If Sadler can get his car going and take advantage of that door opening up right there, he might could try to sneak back inside the top 10 here.
Keselowski makes the shortcut work and manages to woe the car down enough to make the corner.
Man, stay hungry in there.
Right, that's Greg Griffin talking to Elliott Sadler, trying to keep him pumped up.
Oh, hang on, Elliott.
Nothing behind us, 33. All clear right there. All clear.
He loses one spot, but Andy, it could have been the whole championship.
Yeah, he was getting some coaching there, and he was trying to get that little extra effort. Carter is just not willing to accept that. He just had a loose race car, and these restarts have just been killing him.
She's dropped back to 13th now. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. running in 4th. The gap is 10 in the championship. And the laps are winding down. There's 13 to go. There is Stenhouse under no pressure right now from 5th place, Brian Scott. And you could basically say the same thing about Joey Logano. He's under no pressure. He is marching toward his 9th win of the season.
What a solid job that Brian Vickers has done getting in this Joe Gibbs Racing number 20 car and running in the top 5 most of the day. Sitting there battling Kyle Busch right now for that 2nd spot.
And if you weren't with us earlier, of course, Brian will be in that car full-time next year here in the Nationwide Series.
Well, that has to be a sign of things to come and good things to come. He's got a run here from Kyle Busch out of turn 4.
Vickers, the 2003 Nationwide Series champion, can't get the pass quite done.
Interesting to see here as they go off of turn 4 back down into turn 1. Will Kyle Busch stay up high after he was forced up there that last time and was able to make a good run off of turn 2?
We can tell you Elliott Sadler has moved around Brendan Gaughan. He's now in the 12th position. The points difference is 9.
Oh, he went high, but almost too high. Vickers gets a big run.
Vickers trying to take the spot and does so, move Vickers up to 2nd. And while those guys are fighting, and the caution flag is out, and the 41 has damaged Noel Dowler. It's been a long day for Noel as well.
He's got a right front down on it, Chris.
His Nationwide Series debut is not going to be the kind of day he's going to want to remember.
Just stay the way you are. Stay right where you are.
That's a bad feeling.
Yeah. Looks like your right front went down.
Would you see all the rubber up right along the edge of the track there?
Just stop right there. Stop right there.
Okay, so now 9 laps to go, crew chief. Is there anybody that can do anything this late, or you just got to stay out and hope for the best?
Oh, they're not going to make a pit stop, but we're going to see some good racing when this thing goes green.
Yeah, and I just happened to glance down here. It looked like Ricky Stenhouse and Elliott Sadler both will restart on the outside once again. Stenhouse in 4th, Sadler in 12th. So they both have lost 2 spots since that last restart because they were 2nd and 12th at that time. Or 2nd and 10th, I believe, Elliott Sadler. So he's lost 2.
Luke Lambert there trying to stay calm, but I have a feeling it's a Malox moment.
These crew chiefs have a tough job on them. As we're talking about crew chiefs, I have to take a second to say to someone that's a crew chief for my dad, John Irvin, and then helped me get my career started, and probably was the person that was more responsible for helping make me a race driver. John is battling some very serious health issues, and just want to let him and his wife Frances know that we're all thinking about them and wish them the best.
Yeah, we're thinking about you, John and Frances. John Irvin, he was a good crew chief, boy, I'll tell you that. Spanning a couple of generations.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, part of our family literally lived with us in Camden, South Carolina.
Okay, let's reset the stage for you. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. right now running in 4th place. He has a 9-point lead based on where Elliott Sadler is on the racetrack. And if he can pull this off, he could win a second straight championship. He talked about it.
It would mean a lot. That's what we came back for. You know, I felt like I told Jack that I wanted to come back in the Nationwide Series, learn, you know, a little more about every racetrack, learn a little bit more about racing stock cars, and I think we've done that. We've learned a lot. We've got a lot better from last year this year. And I think that's the only way to go into the next series is off a championship.
And there's Jack Roush on the far side of the pit box. You know, we talked about the fact he's moving to Cup next year. He mentioned that you can see the comparison between last year and this year. He's actually scored 70 more points. He's in a bigger dogfight than he was last year. Knowing that you've got your future laid out takes a ton of pressure off, doesn't it?
Oh, it really does, yeah. And he deserves every bit of it. He's worked hard to get himself in this position. We talked about fighting through adversity and doing the things, so I give him a lot of credit for staying in there and battling.
And Andy, on the flip side, Elliott Sadler lost the championship last year, and he's still trying to, you know, restart his career. He wants to get back to Cup.
Yeah, he does, and he's done such a good job this year. And I'm sure he had the point lead there for so many weeks. Didn't think he was going to be in this position trying to fight from behind, but he's got to do it. He's got 2 races and a little bit left in this one and 1 more to do it.
Fight tough right here, brother. The cars are racing. The points are starting on the outside line. We'll have some good opportunities here. You're the man. You can do it.
Austin could have given me just a little break right there and it saved me 3 or 4 positions. All he had to do was give me a little break, and he didn't.
Well, let's show you the replay of what he's referring to, the 3-car of Austin Dillon.
Yeah, Austin racing him hard here. But he's racing for points. He's racing for the win. He's trying to do everything he can for his team. Can't just lay over. I mean, I understand Elliott's frustration. This is a teammate. He felt like he could have gave him a break.
Yeah, it's just been one thing on top of another today, and your frustration level builds up.
All right, so here's how they're going to restart. Joey Logano on point. Brian Vickers right alongside. Kyle Busch will be in the 3rd position, back in row number 2, alongside of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Then in row number 3, Brian Scott, Casey Kane. Row 4, Michael Annett, Austin Dillon. In row 5, Justin Allgaier and Brad Keselowski. So we'll try to
get their tires cleaned off and some heat in there.
And there's the 2 of Elliott Sadler in 12th. Now, think about this. Kyle Busch starting right behind Joey Logano. He passed Logano 8 times for 8 of his 51 wins. We're going to find out if he can do it here.
Yeah, when he passed Logano, he was driving that 18 car.
And boy, Joey has been good all day long.
Ron Vickers has other ideas of who might win this thing, though. Don't count him out of this.
This time by, there'll be just 4 laps remaining, and there's Ricky Stenhouse. He wants to try and take 3rd away from Kyle.
Stenhouse knows that might be the point that gets him another championship. You never know what will happen next week as he takes that 3rd spot.
And you're right. That's another point in the benefit of the 6 team. Next time by, 3 laps to go. And, boy, you're right. Brian Vickers is really going after it. Elliott Sadler, though, has his hands full with Justin Allgaier. Here comes Vickers. He's taking a look for the race lead. Now, Vickers has not led a single lap today, Andy.
Hey, there's only one of them that pays. It's coming up in 3 more.
And we've had 6 last lap passes in this season of 2012. And here we go. This time by, there'll be 2 laps remaining.
Yeah, he's got it.
And Vickers has got him. Can he hold on to it?
Crossover move by Logano.
Joey below the line.
Come on. 2 to go.
2 to go this time. Logano going to take a look.
Stenhouse just looking for somewhere to go right here. He might go to the bottom.
Logano, who has led an incredible 162 laps today, was passed literally on the track for the first time, and now here he goes back underneath the 20. Vickers not giving an inch.
No, but what a great pass by Logano.
Oh, no! Elliott Sadler into the wall. The championship. Luke Lambert can't believe it. Elliott can't believe it. The caution flag is out.
Very same corner as last year that his championship hopes went away.
Brendan Gaughan in the 33. Another RCR car involved.
I think
We need new tires. Do you think stay rolling right here, Elliott?
Yeah, we definitely need tires. I got 4 flat tires.
Cole Witt also involved in this.
It's knocked the whole clip off of his car.
Cannot pass the pace car here.
Take the hood down. Give me 4 tires.
Luke
Take the
Lambert.
hood down so it doesn't blow up. We'll do 4 tires. Make sure all the tires are clear so we keep rolling around there, not cut another one down, okay?
All right, here we go. You said it. Same place as last year.
Same place. It looks like he doesn't have anybody to blame. Looks like he got right in the left rear and Cole Witt.
And then the worst of it,
Triggered it.
he hits the wall, and then the 33 hits him.
Still out there.
Violent hit. Violent hit. See the wheel just being jerked right out of his hands.
Still inside the 2.
Is that you all right, man?
Boy, look at the back end of that car of Cole Witt. Just folded up. Same thing with Elliott Sadler. And then right here. Ripped the front end off his car there. It's still rolling though. Like they get some tires on it, secure some of these body parts. At least he can keep rolling to the finish.
We will have a green-white checker finish.
It doesn't look like that it busted the radiator there. I don't know, because he got hit right in the wheel, just tore the whole nose off in one piece.
Now, we should point out we've been watching this so intently because of the championship implications. We are under a red flag as they've stopped all the cars back on the backstretch heading into turn number 3. And look at Luke Lambert.
Yeah, that's a frustrating position. Nothing you can do.
Let's take you back to last year. Elliott Sadler will go across the shortcut. Jason Leffler will be behind him. Here's the move. He came back up. Contact. And he was into the wall. And his championship was over last year at that point. It may be over again. We are under a red flag condition here at Phoenix International Raceway after a multiple car crash down in turn number 3 involving championship contender Elliott Sadler. That is what is left of the number 2 car, and that's just the back half. The front half doesn't look any better. Let's go back and show you exactly what happened as Elliott has to sit in the car and wait for the red flag to end.
Right here, it looked like Sadler, as he came off, he just never got his car turned down and got into the left rear of the 88. Cole Witt, I don't think, did anything wrong there. I don't know if it was an arrow situation with the 2 that he just couldn't get cut down, but, well, we've seen 3 times that he's gone below that yellow line and come back up towards turn 3, and none of them have been successful for him.
This slow motion shows you just how hard these hits are.
Yeah, you know, sometimes we forget sometimes of the speed that they're carrying. That is the fastest part of the racetrack as they enter turn 3. And when things happen, they happen in a hurry. That's just one of the worst moments as a driver is you're sliding, you get hit, car's torn up, you're battling. It's been just a terrible, terrible day, and then all of this takes place. So it's very unfortunate for Elliott, but team will have to do some battling next week.
We'll go on board with Elliott. We'll just sit back and watch and listen. It's violent.
Still out there.
contact so hard, just rips the steering wheel.
I watched this right there, and I'm not sure about this. Elliott Sadler could tell you, but there was a reason that he didn't turn out. I think that Elliott glanced in the mirror, and they actually got to the corner quicker than what he thought. And sometimes you do that as a driver, and it comes up on you, and he just didn't turn his car down. And I could be very wrong about that. It could have been an aero thing, but it certainly looked like you could see his helmet just glance towards his mirror and just didn't get it down there. And it's just a terrible feeling. You realize you've battled hard all year long. Elliott Sadler sees his championship hopes kind of going down the drain here all in one day.
He gave me the driver's perspective. How about from a crew chief and the crew?
Well, right now, Luke Lambert's looking at all these, what they can see from our shots, and there's actually some good news here. There's not a lot of fluid or any fluid coming out from under the car. Looks like it's still rolling. Obviously, he's got a ton of damage. They're going to have to address some of this, but there's only it's like I said, it's going to be a green-white checker. They only have to make a few laps. They may be able to keep this car rolling to the finish and try to minimize the damage, but there's just not much you can do.
Well, I'm looking at it. Right now he is shown in 23rd position, last car on the lead lap, and Haraka in 24th is 2 laps down. So we'd have a green-white checker.
Well, I'm going to tell you another thing. You see 21 points back right now. He's sitting back there in the 22nd spot, Elliott is. But these race cars sitting here now, you think they drove bad on these restarts before? They don't even know anything yet is what's going to happen. So anything can happen. If they can keep this 2-car just rolling, they could pick up some more spots before this thing's over.
Yeah, there may be some more out there to pick up. We see this restart.
All right, we see Luke Lambert trying to do damage control. Vince, what's going on down there?
You know, it actually could have been much worse. Hard to believe that we were talking about it could be worse than what it is for these guys right now. But Andy made a great point in the fact that there aren't fluids leaking from the car. And actually, it did roll when Elliott was able to start it and roll and drive away from the actual accident scene. So they believe that at least when they come in, they're not going to have any issues in regards to part of the car blocking the rolling of the tires. And that's a very good sign for this 2-team. But they do have to make sure that the spoiler is on the car and remaining on the car, and that's one of the issues that they're talking about, is getting the back end of the car repaired as well and making sure that there's not anything restricting the movement of the tires. All they want to do is no extravagant repairs, just get the car to where it can roll around the track at an appropriate speed and complete the race, preferably on the lead lap, Marty.
Okay, what we can tell you, thanks Vince, the reason this red flag continues is there is a lot of cleanup still going on between turns 3 and 4. There you see the 88 of Cole Witt on the flatbed heading back towards the garage area. So it's going to take a few more moments before we get back to this green-white checkered finish. And that's maybe a first, an onboard camera on a flatbed. Not the way Cole Witt wanted his day to end. All right, Andy, let me ask you, as crew chief, he's able to see some of this from our video. What would be your primary area of concern? What would you want to try and nail down?
Okay, the first thing you got to do is get that deck
4
lid.
tires on it.
Well, listen here. We'll see what he says.
Just get anything that's hanging off of it, hanging off. Get that bumper bar pulled up. You should be able to do that by hand. And we're just going to go out there, roll around the bottom, try to stay on the lead lap right here.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's what I see, too.
Get 4 tires in there, try to take the deck lid down and try to take the hood down. I mean, just one strip of barrel bond across the hood should hold it for the speed I'm going to run, and then try to get the deck lid down.
What you don't want to do is cause any more damage by trying to, say, cut something off. It's going to cause more damage. It's going to keep you from staying on the lead lap. Like I said, the hood looks like it's pretty secure. A little tape will fix that. That deck lid, though, is going to take. They're going to have to get it down. And that bumper bar, I would think, if for me, I believe I would try to take that thing all the way off the car. I would just try to get it removed. Looks like that's probably barely hanging, and if you try to just push it up, I'm afraid it would fall off. I think that's what they'll see when they get there.
Now, we saw Jimmy Johnson's crew do a miraculous job at Kansas in their effort there, but they're not going to have that much time. It's not a 1.5 mile track. It's a mile. To stay on the lead lap, this is going to take yeoman effort.
They have these self-tapping screws you can see there with a drill and a socket on. They can just take that and really quickly make a pretty firm repair on some of these things.
And you can see Elliott able to refire.
Yeah, his problem is he's at the back of the pack here. They're not going to have a lot of time to work on it, even though they are under caution. You're right, Andy. They're probably going to have to cut that loose.
Just stop in front of you. Just sit tight there.
Elliott trying to make his way around to get to his pit box to see if they can limit the points damage and somehow make this car able to go just a couple more laps.
You gotta let these guys go. You gotta let 3 more go before you pit. 1 more to go. 1 more to go. 1 more to go. All right, now you're good. Come on. 2 lights. 44.
Boy, that right front, that doesn't look good. None of it looks good.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sorry. I got the pace car on the other channel.
Looking at 27 seconds right here. Bearbot off the right rear. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Hey, we're good on these left side tires here, guys. We're good on these left side tires. Go, 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 go.
Out, but you can see the bar still dragging.
White checker.
He's got some other issues. The whole rear clip is knocked down. You see the track bar bracket is just maybe an inch off the line. It's going to hit hard when he tries to go.
Your car's coming back down.
He's basically going to be running around the apron just to try to complete these couple of laps.
Yeah, he won't finish on the lead lap. He'll have to come back. They just got 1 to go.
On the racetrack, please.
Well, like we pointed out, right now he's shown in 21st position. Brendan Gaughan is
we got to come back in here, pull that
Cole Witt is
bumper
off,
bar up, so
and Haraka is 2 laps down. So if he can just limp for at least one of those
keep working on it. Yeah, they're going to make him come back in here, though. So he's going to go down a lap.
If he goes down 1 lap,
that's all we're doing is pulling that bumper bar up. You can put the bear bar on the right rear.
They did remove part of that bumper.
We got a race to settle here now, though.
Yep. These guys are going to go a lap down. Pace car has pulled off. It's Joey Logano, Brian Vickers. This is our 7th green-white checker of the year. Who's going to win this one? Great restart by Logano. Joey's pulling away.
Yeah, here comes Stenhouse. He restarted on the inside. That was an advantage for him. See if he can use that. Vickers not giving this up easy, though.
Side by side, white flag in hand. Just 1 lap to go here at the mile at Phoenix. Joey Logano has led 167 laps. He's pulling away from the field. Brian Vickers is holding off Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And the whole championship has changed in a matter of 1 race with only 1 more to go. Coming out of turn number 4, Joey Logano, his 18th career win. It's going to be his 9th
Phoenix,
of the year.
Baby. Woo! It's about time we won here. Yeah!
Woo! Cross off another track where Joey has never won before, because he just did now here at Phoenix.
Woo! That was...
He had to work for it, though.
And it looks like Elliott Sadler will come across in the 22nd position. Before the crash, he was 10 points down. Right now, he has shown 20 points down. He's coming around to take the checkered flag. And he will be in 22nd position. So what started out as a tough day for the 2 car ended on a tough day for the 2 car. But for Joey Logano, his season in the NASCAR Nationwide Series just continues this great roll.
Yeah, it was another great run for Danica Patrick, too. She was very aggressive on that last restart. Made it 2 or 3 wide there. And was trying to pass Brad Keselowski coming to the checker flag. Didn't get it done, but he was inside.
But she did get back into the top 10 to finish in that 10th position.
Logano, just what a phenomenal season. I mean, just a great job. Taking advantage when he's had the best car, done the right things. Ricky Stenhouse, I think if it wouldn't have been for Sadler's problem, we would have probably seen him be a little more aggressive on that last restart, but that was championship and a championship contender at its best.
Dr. Jerry Punch, he's with Ricky Stenhouse.
And Ricky climbs out. Ricky, looked like you were trying to win a race and a championship. What were you thinking when you rode by there and saw the heavily damaged car of Elliott Sadler?
I didn't really think anything. I just kept doing what we were doing all day. We worked really hard. Mike made some good calls. Taking 4 there, staying out, leading a lap. All the guys on the Valvoline Next Gen Mustang worked really, really hard, and that's what it's all about. We still got some racing to do. We got one more race left. It was cool to have Edsel here. Happy Veterans Day to everybody, and thank Nationwide Insurance, Cargill Beef, everybody that helps us on this NOS Energy drink. It's been a lot of fun, but still got some work to do.
Still got work to do, Marty. 20 points unofficially headed to the final race in Homestead.
Third top 5 in a row, including the win at Kansas, the 4th place run last week at Texas. And on the right side of your screen, Elliott Sadler is thinking what might have been.
Yeah, certainly a very disappointing day. Ricky Stenhouse talking about having Edsel Ford down there. Edsel's been a big supporter of NASCAR racing for a long time from the Ford camp, and great to see him back at the track again.
Statistician Jimmy Hicks, Andy, just handed me 16th or better next week for the number 6. Gives Ricky the championship for the 2nd year in a row, no matter what he does.
Yeah, he's got to be feeling pretty good about this lead, taking it into the last race.
Yeah, but we've seen so many times there's just parts on these race cars, and they're built by people and put together by people. Anything can happen, but a very disappointing day for Elliott Sadler.
Elliott and Luke trying to exchange a few words. Vince, you're right there with him. Go ahead.
Elliott, certainly difficult circumstances. How do you put that into words today?
Well, I mean, I did it to myself. I put my team in a hole, qualifying like we did, and we tried to work on this car as much as we could, and I just got a little loose there, getting on at 88. But it's 100% my fault. I should have done a better job with these guys, and I just apologize to them for putting them in this position heading to Homestead. We're going to get in there and fight, but I definitely dug ourselves a hole.
Thanks, Elliott. Marty?
Yeah, as we mentioned, it's a hole that it might be insurmountable, but we have seen stranger things happen. 16th or better for the 6th car, and it's all his. Joey Logano is our race winner right now. And let's go down to victory lane where the celebration is about to begin.
Phoenix to the list in this growing spectacular year. Joey, describe your emotions after winning your 9th race of the season.
They didn't make it easy on me, that's for sure, with all those cautions. And my car was very loose for the first couple laps or so after a restart. And once it got going, it was pretty good, and then they started catching back up. So not really much time to make an adjustment on the car throughout the race, because you're 2 tires pretty much the whole race. So to get GameStop, Toyota, and victory lane one more time. They've been with me forever, so it's awesome to get them in again. Epic Mickey 2, get Mickey Mouse in victory lane. That's pretty cool. It might be the first time Mickey Mouse has been in victory lane. So got to thank Toyota. Great clips, or not great, sport clips. And obviously Coca-Cola. It was definitely a fun race for sure, and they've kept me on my toes right to the end.
Fantastic restarts by Joey Logano. He wins his 9th race of the season, Marty.
Yeah, and it's his 18th of his career. Half of them come in this season of 2012. What a great run by Joey Logano. Here's our ticket to the race. Only one stop left next week. Hope you can join us at Homestead Miami Speedway. We'll be on the air at 4 Eastern if you can't join us. Don't forget, tomorrow, NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, chase race number 9, 2 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. Coming up next, College Football Scoreboard presented by Honda. Congratulations to our winner, Joey Logano, for the 9th time this year. For our entire ESPN crew, I'm Marty Reed. Thanks so much for joining us. Till we meet again.